Quick question to everyone. What's an education session? Something that helps us to learn. Something you don't know what it is, but which you don't know, but something that helps you. So you have a basic definition. Any more, like anybody who has something. It enriches knowledge for people. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that. Anything else? Yeah? To learn something new. Keep it simple. Correct? Fantastic. Now, think about this. Some of you said you loved, why not travel? Some of you said, why not Toastmasters? And some of you even had a why not moment when you saw somebody being criticized. Correct? Similarly, when you learn something, you don't just go into it. It's like, what's the word? It's like a journey. Now, in this journey, now everybody has done a journey here, right? Show of hands, how many of you here have done a journey ever? Coming from your home till here is a journey. Sitting through this meeting is a journey. Sometimes trying to remember what you dreamt about itself becomes a journey. In such journeys, we all in Toastmasters have come together with one such journey in common. What's that? To be better speakers, to be better leaders. Putting those two together is what we comprise to become as Toastmasters. But again, what does a Toastmaster do? What am I going to learn here today in this education session? Now, if you were to think that you are in this journey, there are lots of different kind of people you meet, right? Now, can you give me some nouns for the kind of people you meet? Like, what can you call somebody who's in the same train along with you? A passenger. Yeah, you come across a lot of passengers when you go. That's what they say. Even a solo trip is never solo. You always have a passenger somewhere. You just don't know them yet. Then, apart from passengers, what are the type of people you have? Can somebody just pass my phone? Yeah. Phone. Awesome. Yes. Now, when you visit a place, Taj Mahal, what do you see? Tourists. The beauty that's ever existing, but we never forget the beautiful tourist that's always thronging, sweating on us, rubbing against us, and making you feel a little uncomfortable at times. Yeah? Because there are going to be people who want to see the same thing that you want to see. You have passengers going in your same journey. They might come to Taj Mahal with you or not. But those who are on the same journey towards Taj Mahal will always be there alongside you. Sometimes try to get a step ahead to get that ticket just a minute faster. Now forget the tourists, forget the passengers, but those who really want to take it to the next level. Those who have forgotten everything about things that are noise to them, just focusing on the energy that's coming up. Something that has got their ground running so fast that things around them is not making a difference. Any idea who these guys are? I call these people the adventurers. Now these three people are not very far. They're within you. You are a passenger in your own vision towards a place where you want to get, probably not in that much of a hurry. You're not really excited or you're not audacious enough to take it forward to the next level. You're a tourist at most of the places because you are on the endeavor that you seek from your own peer. The same challenge, the same vision, the same outcome, the same sense of security. But within you, there is that one small guy, girl, making that voice. Let's go on an adventure. Let's do something new. Let's try something that we have never tried before. Yeah? Is it there or not? Yes? Yes. Awesome. Now, This box has a word or a phrase for that adventurer in you today to help me learn better what I can teach you. So, Toastmaster of the day, please help me pick a chit, share it to everyone. Let everyone just grab a chit for themselves. What have we got? Vasudha? Okay.
Self-evaluation.
Self-evaluation. Nice.
Be the showman.
Be the showman. Fantastic. Huh? Body language.
Be the showman.
Be the showman. We have 2 for that. 2 for speechcraft.
Watch.
Voice modulation. Okay, that's 1 again. Improv. Okay. Voice modulation.
Self-evaluation.
Self-evaluation.
Body language.
Body language.
Voice modulation.
Voice modulation. Improv. Speechcraft. Not there. Speechcraft. Improv. So we got 4 for speechcraft, 3 for improv, 3 for body language, 3 for voice modulation, 2 for self-evaluation, and 1 for be the showman. 2 for be the showman. So today, what are we going to be talking about? Speechcraft. Really? Are we? Yes, we are. So, everybody here, have you ever had that question in your head? What do I talk about? Every time, right? Whenever, even if you know the answer at Vivas in college, sometimes it's like, sir, the mass of the viscosity index of the product is, sir, right? You would know the answer perfectly, but there will be times when you have that self-doubt, when you have that one question mark, just like this guy right here, where there's nothing but a blank screen. Have you ever had that problem? Anybody? Yeah? So now, I want somebody to join me on stage. Just somebody to help me find something out differently. Give a round of applause, people. Now, Pracheta.
Yeah.
Now, I want you to tell everybody what is that one thing that you want to achieve.
What is that one thing which I want to achieve?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to start an orphanage for very small children and become a mom to them forever.
Wow.
My dream.
Being a mother is one of the most noblest pursuits that I would say that I have come to witness in my lifetime. And you choosing to be for more than one person, now that shows a lot of love and heart. Now, let's play a small role play, okay? So you have this dream and vision, and today I am a person who have achieved it,
Okay.
okay? And you're going to come to me and ask, how are you going to do it? Okay? All right. So,
Namaste.
namaste.
I am so very excited and I am very inspired. The work we have already done. This is also the pursuit which I want to pursue. So, how did you start? I have a dream like that, but I really don't know how to take that first step.
Rachita, so nice to see that somebody else is on the same pursuit towards helping mankind. But for this, one thing that you have to know, the one thing that is stopping you from achieving your vision, I can only tell you when we go to Kanyakumari, and there at morning 6:30 a.m. I will be able to tell you. Okay? Will you join me on this journey? Okay? Just keep your hand here. Okay. So now we are flying.
Okay.
They're flying. Okay, we reach Kanyakumari now. Okay, we'll just wait for 6:30. Okay, it's 6:15. Okay, so weather is all nice, so we have nice surrounding, fantastic. Okay, so now it's 6:30. So now I'm going to tell you what you have to do it here. Now you have to join me along. So hold my hand. Okay. So now we are entering the water. Now we are entering the water. Now it is 4 feet tall. Now for Prachita, it's already till here. Okay? So now we are going to go a little bit further. Okay? Now go down.
Okay.
Okay? Now you're under the water. Now you can't talk, you can't laugh. Okay? It's difficult to breathe. Okay? It's difficult to breathe now. Okay? You stay there.
Okay.
Okay? Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
More difficult to breathe now? More difficult to breathe? Now come up. Feels better? Yeah? Good. Now I'm going to do something what you're not ready for, but you have to accept it anyways. Please go down. What did you miss inside there? Air. Air is such an important necessity. Now replace your vision with that air that was necessary for you. See the difference now. Now you see much clearly what's missing to get that one vision. Yeah? Please give a round of applause, people. Thank you. Now, there are times where you learn things out of necessities, but you can never achieve that vision what you all have if you don't want it as much as you want to breathe for every second. Now, even if you are very new to it, even if you are an expert at it, even if you are an amateur at it, the one thing that you do not stop is practice. And that is how you breathe. You don't need an effort to breathe. You don't need to be a champion at breathing. You don't need to be an amateur at breathing. What you need to do is breathe. So breathe equals doing. So do without hesitation, do without limitation, do without any form of confusion. Now moving forward, she wanted to know an answer. She took that step. She took that brave step. She was audacious enough to step up and come forward and join me on the stage. Now, if she hadn't done that, she would not have known how important it is to breathe as much as it is to practice towards your vision. Now, today, when we see something such as speechcraft, we all have the same difficulty, right? What do I talk about? How do I say it? Where do I even begin? The whole point here is to share your thoughts. Doesn't matter how you start, doesn't matter how you make it look good, doesn't matter how you finish it. But the whole idea about crafting a speech always starts with you willing to do it irrespective of its outcome. Because you don't expect an outcome from breathing, you just do it. Now, moving into the same journey of speechcraft, you are a passenger already to a lot of people who come here and give you the stories, come here and give you the knowledge, who come and give you the experiences. You are also a tourist because you strive to be better a speaker tomorrow than what you are today. At the same time, you have a vision of your inner flaws that you have corrected all these days that is helping you become stronger in your own adventure towards becoming an excellent speaker. Now, in these moments, especially when you are on the journey, you are so conscious. Even some of the best players become silent, become in doubt, or go into a state of denial. Have you ever experienced that once? They say the road towards greatness is never comfortable. The leader's top of the mountain is never the luxury what you imagine that you will get there. Because that gentleman, lady, will always be in that one state. Am I the best still? Is there somebody who is outranking me? Is there more contest that I have to face to hold on to this mantle where I have climbed today? Now this step is where you all will find comfort. Now that comfort is going to be that doubt. That comfort is going to be that confusion. And that confusion is where your comfort lies as practice. Today, let me just bring you to the nuances of what speechcraft we all face. Now, before I do, I just want to know a few common questions that comes into your heads at the same time when you hear about speechcraft. Deepak, do you have any questions in specific?
Composing a speech.
Composing a speech. Okay. A title becomes a challenge that leads to the challenge in composition. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Anyone else?
What is speechcraft?
What is speechcraft? What the moment speechcraft comes into what is speechcraft? Why is speechcraft important? Fantastic. What else?
What if we forget everything?
What if we forget everything when we come here? We'll do all the preparation, everything is done, but everything is gone. Bird flying in the head, visual, that's it. Awesome, fantastic, thank you so much. Last question, I have one last question that I can take along with this.
You have an idea, but you don't know how to develop it in a speech.
Yes, you have an idea, but the idea cannot be formulated into script. All right, so we have 3 to 4 different instances. Let's start with the most obvious one. What is speechcraft? Everybody has this question in their head. Now, something that you are willing to share, you already know how to share it. Something that you know, but you don't know how to share, but you know it's important for the world to know about it. You need to find a way to describe it. There is a outcome that you expect from it. There is a response that you want from the people listening to it. And there is a purpose behind you drafting this whole thing. These 5 points become the whole backbone of your speechcraft. What you know, there is no problem in telling, then there's a speech already there. What you know, but you don't know how to say it, now that's where speechcraft matters the most. It's somewhat similar to what Pracheta just said. I have an idea, I don't know how to form a speech out of it. Correct? Now, I have the content ready, but I don't know how to give it a fair title. I have a title ready, but I don't know how to make it fair with the content. Now, these are the common instances which you face. Now, this is somewhere where you actually want to become a speaker, want to be prepared and come here. Now, let's take some general aspects in your everyday work life. Where is the most common places where you feel like you talk a lot, where you have to exchange a lot of thoughts? Family meeting. You have just gone to one family vacation, you finished that, you came back, now you have met your relatives, you want to tell them a story. Excellent. Where else?
In the classroom, like teaching.
Excellent. When I heard the classroom, the first thing came is coming late to class. You have a story there, correct? When you want to tell, you forgot your assignment. There is a story there. When you want to talk to that crush, there is a story there. Right? So even in your everyday work life, for example, you want to go tell your boss, I need 3 days leave extra for Diwali this time. There's a story there. You want to tell them, this is being unfair, I've been working for 3 years, I'm not getting the right value for appraisal. Should I think about changing jobs or will you think about giving me a promotion? There's a story there. Telling that work crush, you have been hogging too much of the Xerox machine, I need to use it also. There's a story there. Wherever you go, there are stories. Wherever you go, there are speeches. Wherever you go, some places you don't need a title. But most places, you need that inner title to bring out the stories. Now, these next 3 practices, what we are going to do, please do it with the same intent of being that adventurer. Remember your vision towards where you want to go, and the highest amount of focus you need to give is as much as you have to breathe. Not too much, not too less, just enough. When we talk about such situations, about all the cases what we studied as a Toastmaster in a general setup and even a specific as such as a work environment, during those moments of creating something, does your mind grow or does it shrink under stress? Show of hands, how many of you shrink under stress? I have a fair 50% right there. Because most of us know the outcome, but we don't know how to put it in words. Correct? Now today, everybody of us has problems. We have come across such situations. You have found places where the dilemma exists and persists. Now take a moment for yourself and get two such moments of dilemma. Okay? Now frame the problem that represents the dilemma you have. Now for yourself, just do it for yourself. Frame the problem for the dilemma that you have. You can frame one problem. Let's start simple. For example, you have an idea, you don't know how to convert it into speech. Correct? Then you have you want to draft a speech but you don't know what's the title. So that's also a dilemma, something simple. Just frame it for yourself. Okay? Sounds very difficult to work on it because that's what you want to learn. Now let's bring out a counter example for it. Now this counter example can be very simple where you already know the solution. At your house, you were trying to open a screw with a screwdriver, but the head was the wrong one. Just had a thought for that moment. What is going on here? Now that's a frame of a dilemma. Now I want everyone to just take a moment for yourself, visualize a problem that you solved on your own. Now that is a dilemma where you had a problem and you can define the problem correctly. So take a moment, define the problem correctly for yourself. Correct? Defined well, right? Because remember this, guys, in communication, it is always effective in the response more than what you're going to say. Because right now, there is this line that you have constructed for yourself. You thought of the best way that will make it sound explainable to the other person. But did you think about how it would sound to them? Because the response comes from them, right? So you always think about how it would sound for them. So general idea of the problem. Now once you've done that, always remember, people connect better with failures. Because when they hear a failed story and hear it coming into success, it will have a much stronger impact than somebody who just comes into it with a story of success. How many of you remember Enzo Ferrari? Ferruccio Lamborghini. Two most famous constructors of Italian cars to this date. How many of the cars did they break before they made their dream car come into a reality? Ferruccio Lamborghini was a tractor builder before he became the world's greatest car manufacturer. Enzo Ferrari picked up the most iconic color, red, from a children's drawing, which today becomes an actual official color that we see as Ferrari red in the color spectrum. Now, how did somebody with such simple backgrounds come to such highest of mantles? The number of failures that you can name is innumerable. There are so many failures that everywhere you dig, there's conspiracy, there's failures, there's construction failure. So failure. One day, those failures became their arrows of success. Because one good thing at the end made all those failures novice. They just fixed it because his chase did not stop there. So even in your case, think about all those moments, how many times you failed to get into the right path. Now, for example, be it that screwdriver story, I tried putting in the screw 20 times. But even the 21st time, I was still getting the thread wrong. But the 22nd time, when you opened the light, and you actually saw you were trying to open a Phillips screw head with a flat head, and you had to change it to the star one, and then it worked. Now that's a story for somebody that you can share. Now that's where success speaks after people understand the amount of failures that you had to endure, how many failures you had to fight through, how many failures you had to learn through. Because that creates the missing impact behind your success story. And finally, everybody knows if when the campfire is about to go out, correct? But before it goes out, sometimes there is a small tinder that becomes into a flame, and that grows into a magnanimous one. Everybody has a moment within them where they thought, okay, no chance I'm going to get this through. But at the end, surprisingly, they turned out to be victorious. They turned out to be successful in achieving their objective. Now, simple. Start off with a general problem that everybody has, that even you are facing. Something as simple as a general story. Move that story towards the number of failures, the number of pains, the number of mistakes you had to correct. And those mistakes, how did it lead you towards thinking better? From that dim moment towards throwing that Hail Mary towards your ground. Doesn't know if it's going to run or not, but you just made that move anyway. And how that success transpired. 3 moments, 3 perspectives, 1 vision. Now, any idea, if you take it across, these 3 moments are always there. Any story you take, these 3 moments are always there. Any condition you take in your office, school, or college, these 3 moments are there. Even your family, for that matter, if you want to tell them a story, you wouldn't just come out of the blue and tell them. What are those 3 general moments that people are hungry for? Where you experience that pain the most, how you came out of it. These 3 questions brought out with 3 power phrases every time, and with an outcome of a story where you achieved your vision. This is speechcraft. You don't have to go far to find examples. You don't have to bring something that you have not seen to construct a story. You don't have to find words out of the dictionary to convince somebody else. A story is always fascinating when the listener has to use less of his cognition. It just goes in, it is easily accepted. When you bring a story of a simple example, now how about this? Can I have another volunteer on stage? Anyone? All right, please. Give a round of applause, guys. Chaitanya? Okay. Now think of a simple general problem that you think is common that everyone would like to hear.
Putting diesel into my car every 3 days or 4 days.
Putting diesel to your car every 3 or 4 days. Excellent, right? Now that becomes a challenge when you are not sure how much you travel, what you travel, where you travel, etc. So all those questions. Good. So we'll have that into picture. Now face the audience. Repeat after me. I love to drive my car.
I love to drive my car.
But putting diesel every 3 days is a challenge.
Putting diesel every 3 days is a challenge.
Good? Fantastic. You're doing great. He just got the first part right. He just defined his problem. Something simple, something elegant, something so magnanimously easy for people to do, but still it's a general problem that people face. Good. Step forward. Come here. Now think about the time where you were not even able to fill diesel once in a week. Yeah? So, what was those times? What were you doing then? As in, like studying, or were you bunking, or were you working somewhere?
I was busy on a family function. Then came back. Then had to go for some work to the hospital, but then later discovered that I forgot to put the diesel because I got busy in the first place.
You were busy doing what there?
The family function.
Yeah, and before that, you have your duties at the hospital.
Duties again.
Yeah, okay. So it's duties, hospital, family, duty, hospital, family again. So this became a pattern. Now, let's put this pain story into perspective. For how long was your duty when you used to work? Usually, your duty time would be for a minimum set of how many hours?
Usually it will be for around 10 hours.
Huh. So 10 hours. Yeah.
If I'm doing an overnight, it will be around 36 hours.
36 hours. The 36 hours you're in a hospital. You tell, it's not easy working in the hospital for 36 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not easy working 36 hours in a hospital.
Sometimes you barely get time to eat.
Sometimes you barely get time to eat.
And I had to go to my family function.
And I have to go to my family function.
Okay? Fantastic. You got the second part also right. Now move in. One more step. Come here. Okay? Now here, tell me that moment when you were in the nick of time, but you had just remembered to fill the fuel, and that actually saved you a lot of time and miles when you traveled somewhere when you did back in the past.
Yeah, there was one time where I just thought there was still one thread, one digit still there on my fuel tank.
Okay.
But then I decided to still fill the tank full and then go for my journey.
Huh.
And for that day, there was a heavy rain and I didn't get any other petrol stations and I could complete my journey without stopping anywhere for the diesel. So that actually saved me.
Yeah. So this is from a different time, right? This is from different time, right? Now take this story, Chaitanya, and replace the destination with a family wedding, family function. Okay? You were late after a 36-hour shift. You didn't know if you were going to get petrol or diesel or not. But you got it anyways. You decided to fuel up, and that saved your time in going to your family wedding, family function. Now, I want you to tell that. Now craft that same sentence into the same. Yeah.
Okay. I could fill the diesel tank full so that in the last tick of time, then I had enough diesel to go until my family function without stopping here and there and getting worried about the diesel getting over.
Good, fantastic. Step up. Now let's put a nice bow on it, okay? Now putting a bow on it is very easy. Now it is to ask a question to the audience. How many of you fill up your diesel on time?
How many of you fill up the diesel or petrol on time?
How many of you have that focus, though you're so busy with your lives, to be vigilant, to help you something keep moving?
How many of you are vigilant enough and focused enough to keep you going even though you have distractions in your life? Only two. Okay.
How many of you think it is wise to sometimes go with the pain rather than stay and heal yourself?
So how many of you think it is wise enough to go with the pain rather than to stay and deal with the healing?
Right? Now, let me just put all these things into one sentence right here. Shall we do quickly? We'll walk from there. I'll walk with you. Come. So, what did we discuss here? From there on, you can start. Yeah.
I had problem with once with filling my diesel tank, because of which I couldn't then go to the work properly. And this was because I was busy with my duty. Then I was too tired to go and fill it.
36 hours of working, it's not easy.
So, and then I ended up going to the family function, and then when I came back, I realized there was no diesel. so I couldn't go to the work. But then
But
later,
then,
I realized a point where I had actually filled my diesel tank well before the journey, and it paid off well because on that day there was rain, there was chaos. I didn't have to stop anywhere, and then could reach my destination without worry. So in the end, Hari has made me realize that it's better to go with the pain rather than later deal with the healing of the trauma. So I think
always fill your diesel on time.
still it is a long time, and even if it is painful.
Right? Such a simple story, but he was just able to make it in minutes. Yeah? Great job, Titan. Yeah? Now, every story that you have today just found itself a means. Every story that you have today just made itself a little bit easier to give a title. Now, quickly, everyone, give me a collective. How many of you think would be a nice title? What is a nice title for this speech Chaitanya made now? Quickly, give me some examples. A nice title for the story that you just drafted here. Huh? The doctor's journey to the stage. Nice. Okay.
A stitch in time saves nine.
A stitch in time saves nine. Fantastic example. Give a round of applause for Prajita actually here. I'll tell you why. Nothing sells better than a proverb, guys. On stage, when people buy things that has been said repeatedly for the longest duration of time known to mankind. A stitch in time saves nine. I think my great grandmother would have also said it. And most of us, when we hear proverbs, we remember our grandparents. We remember our parents because nobody else uses proverbs much. And the moment it is coming from somebody senior, automatically your brain is wired, it's programmed to accept, to say yes, to nod your head. So as audience, that is a response that you're giving. And as a speaker, a fellow speech crafter, that's the response you expect from people. But to go through it, you had sections, different parts of the same speech where you did not know where the script was going. But when you put all of it together, in the end, you got an outcome that was fruitful enough to say, yes, even I can draft a speech. Even I can craft a story. Even I can do it. So, why not? As my Toastmaster would say. So, Toastmaster of the day, what do you think? Would you or would you not craft your first speech later? Thank you so much. Over to you.